It's Christmas Eve, but Santa's just dropped off some of these Spatz UCI Legal Overshoes. These aren't the full length ones, these are the UCI Legal ones. They're kind of lighter weight than the full length ones, which I think are called Roadman or Pro. But it's mega wet here. It's been mega wet for about 4 months, and we're going to test them out today because I'm sick of having dirty shoes. I don't really feel like they do a good job of waterproofing. They look shit, they're baggy, and I've always just worn a decent pair of shoes in winter, and this is my winter shoe of choice, the Giro Empire, and mainly because the upper is quite well sealed. It's like a rugby boot or football boot. There's not much ventilation in the toe, so all the road spray that comes up on the front doesn't really get your toes wet. It's got some small perforated holes. If you let them fill up with mud, it kind of seals the water out. And yeah, these are what I ride in winter, so you should have seen them yesterday. But now I've cleaned them because they're going to be going underneath the new overshoes. To get them on, you put them on your leg before putting your shoe on, and then you roll them down over the shoe. Pretty close fitting. Nice high on the calf. Right then, what is the Spatz Legalz2 Overshoe? Well, it's a rubberized neoprene overshoe. It's quite close fitting. Comes about halfway up the calf. You can trim it down. Yeah, and like I said, I've never really got on with overshoes. It seems like the industry started to develop overshoes and then kind of gave up with a pretty shit product, and I've never really found a good one. But so far these are really ticking all the boxes actually. Still got dry feet, obviously, because most of the overshoe is rubberized. They've got some Kevlar sort of reinforced panels on the inside of the heel and on the toe to prevent ripping, which is quite good. The neoprene's quite thin, it's about 3 or 4 mil thick I think. And it's like it's got the rubberized coating, so all the mud on the front stays out. It's got silicone grippers that run longitudinally up and down the bottom of the calf, and that's to hold it up. It would be nice to see some sort of transverse direction grippers going round the leg to create a more of a waterproof seal. But actually, if you wear them over the tights like I'm doing now, which most people do, they'll never be waterproof because the tights will wick the water down to the shoe. So if you want it more waterproof, you'd have them against the bare skin, and then these direction grippers, which they don't have, would be quite nice. See, the grippers run longitudinally up and down, which is good because it holds them up and they haven't slipped down from the start of the ride. And yeah, they haven't moved at all, and so far I've got warm, dry feet. So as overshoes go, I hate overshoes, like I said. These tick all the boxes. When you're faced with roads like this, you can kind of understand why I need an overshoe. I'm riding in Wales at the moment, come over from Chester in the northwest of the UK, and yeah, these are performing really well, and they're not too bulky. They're really slim, and I like wearing a high sock, you know, in the summer. So it's kind of the same style. If you're high sock, high overshoe, they look pretty cool, I think, as overshoes go. Not really dorky like most overshoes do. But yeah, when you've got roads like that, there's just farms everywhere around here. There's so much poo on the road. So yeah, like I said, they've got some sort of woven Kevlar panels, I think they call them Kevlar, on the inside of the heels and on the toes. Now on the label in the box, when you get these, it says something like, if your heels or toes rub your cranks or your chainstays, then go and get a bike fit. Spatz probably aren't for you. That's pretty aggressive, isn't it? Some sort of passive aggressive threat from Spatz to say these overshoes aren't for Freds. I think that's a little bit harsh, because they do add, all overshoes do add width to the shoe, and even if you've got space between your feet and your cranks, then you know it's not always going to be the case that you need a bike fit. So on mine, you can see where the ball of my foot is, it's just touching the crank there, and I'm pretty confident in my bike fit. I'm alright. It's alright on the chainstays. It's just on the ball of the foot, because I've got quite wide shoes. I've got a size 47 shoe anyway, and quite a narrow Q factor, so yeah, there's a bit of rubbing, but it should be okay. It's not severe. But you know, if your crank says, oh, gr or d ace, and you're a real crank rubber, then yeah, you might not want to invest in any overshoes really, because they're always going to be rubbing. Really rate these actually, really good. Definitely worth the money. And I always say, warm hands and feet is kind of the last bastion against like winter riding. If you lose your hands and feet, if you get cold hands and feet, it's game over. It's pretty much game over. You know, like that's the end of the ride. You won't be able to enjoy it. You should be able to go and do 3-hour rides in winter. Like, why should you just do like hard hours, you know, like 30-40k? You should be able to ride 3 hours and not have cold feet. And actually, this is a pass, I think. Yeah, these do really well in helping you do that. You shouldn't sacrifice decent long hour rides in winter because of cold feet. And I've always struggled from cold feet. Quite tall, circulation's not that good. I've always had cold hand and feet, and now cold feet, not a problem anymore. Now I've just got to work on not overheating the core. But there we go. Really good. Spatz, Legalz 2. Really rate those. That's it, another day in the Spatz. That was it for the Spatz review from the other day. But a little caveat, I was rummaging around in the garage yesterday, and I came across my old wetsuit booties for surfing and that kind of stuff. Very similar construction, rubberized neoprene, similar sort of size, amount of material, and they've actually got a lot more technical construction on those. More tape seams, more rubberized kind of technical parts, a complete rubberized technical sole, which obviously needs more tooling than the Spatz need. And they're about 35 quid, they're quite high-end ones. And if you look at the Spatz, they're quite simple in comparison, just, you know, just on first glances. And I guess it's just a volume thing. And I suppose that's the only detriment to the Spatz, is 60 quid's quite a lot for a pair of overbooties. Apart from that, they're spot on, but yeah, I guess it comes down to Spatz being a pretty young startup. Haven't got the volumes the big wetsuit makers have got, like Rip Curl, O'Neill, that sort of thing. And I guess the supply is just quite tough on the MOQs and stuff like that in Asia. So yeah, that's the only thing really, is they're a bit dear for overshoes, but apart from that, can't fault them. It's 3.5 degrees today. I've got them on again. I've noticed actually, I've only ridden them for 3 days. I've nicked the front toe on one of them. Really shame, massive shame, but I'll sort that out with a bit of wetsuit cement. That should come back together, no problem. Only a tiny little nick in the front. My fault. They were fine when I received them. Hey up, car back. Alright, caveat number 2 with the Spatz. Unfortunately, I did get absolutely soaking wet feet. Saturated. Socks are soaking wet. I've yet to find out where the water came from, but it's going to be an inquiry. And then yeah, after about an hour it got really nasty. Feet just got soaking wet. I could feel water inside the shoe and feet got cold, and then it was game over.